Like a lot of times what I'll do is like scream my dog's name.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. When I feel uncomfortable about something that I did, I'll be like, just scream her name.
Do it!
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a reset. So we're all mental is what we're coming down to.
For sure. Jeez, there's not even a debate on that. It was funny you texted who's playing Jesse today on the show.
I had to sit in your seat.
How'd that go?
That was weird. It was all right. Not
good?
as comfortable.
You looked uncomfortable.
You could tell.
I was watching it. You kept like moving your leg positions.
It's different. You're wide open over there.
Yeah, your shit's just out.
Yeah. It's not fun.
Coke Zero. Did you see that Coke Zero did a collaboration with Oreo?
No.
So there's an
Oreo soda?
Oreo flavored Coke Zero right
That
now.
sounds disgusting.
And
Does-
I think there's an Oreo flavored Coca-Cola Zero.
It's gross.
You just said zero
You just
twice.
said, yeah. You said Coke Zero and Coca-Cola Zero.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying is that there's a Coke Zero that has an Oreo flavor,
there's a
the
Coke-
drink,
a
and
regular
then there's
Coke.
an Oreo
That's a Coke.
that's
Oh.
a Coke flavored.
Don't like.
Wow.
Yeah, Coke Zero
Seems
flavor.
like a big waste of time.
And then this I've had. I haven't had those two things separately. There's a Slurpee also.
Love Coke Slurpees.
Had it. Couldn't really taste any of the Oreo. It was mostly just Coke flavored.
Slurpee Oreo or Slurpee drink?
No. Coke Zero Oreo flavored Slurpee.
Come on. You're out of control. It sounds like these things aren't even real.
You're going to see it. It's going to be a thing. Big fall thing.
A big fall thing.
I don't think it's going to catch on.
Well, they're going to have it for a little while. It's a big launch.
I recently had a fucking. This is what Kurt's favorite word. What did he say? Tiramisu flavored Oreos.
Interesting.
What's Oreo doing?
They were terrible.
What do you mean, what's Oreo doing? There's probably at any given time 50 different flavors of Oreos.
I never knew that. I thought there would be like a Halloween one and a regular one.
No.
Double stuffed.
Bro, there's like, what
I
do
don't
they
even
call
like
it?
double stuffed.
The fucking, supermarket section's like 8 feet. There's like 2.5 sections of just flavored Oreos in a supermarket
Never
right now.
known that in my entire life.
Golden, thin, mint, tiramisu, caramel, pumpkin,
Tiramisu for the fans.
popular,
don't
huh?
do it. Tastes
double
like shit.
stuff, lemon
I feel like those
golden.
would always be on sale.
What?
Because I feel like those would always be on sale because they're not moving off the shelf.
Yeah, there's a lot. Peanut butter and jelly, whatever.
Oreos is something to where like there's no world in where I'm eating Oreos in a controlled manner. Like Oreos,
You're
Oreos,
eating a whole sleeve?
Oreos represents like a binged out crackhead energy. Like just fucking.
I will
pop
say
them.
the new cookie like holders, like with that tape, that extra
tape,
yeah,
yeah.
that's really good. It's better than the cookies in the white where you had to like
Definitely not new, but yeah.
Why?
You just went like this.
Yeah, because remember they used to all
You
come in
jerk
their own
off the cookie
sleeves.
sleeve?
Oh my god. Whew,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
well,
rough one.
I can't
folks.
buy like a regular box of Oreos or case of Oreo, whatever you call it, container. I can't buy that
What? Because you'll eat it all.
in one sitting.
Yeah, for sure.
I know.
Like
I have a
I'll take out like 4 or 5 of them, and like I'll do this, thinking that like that's gonna be my only
Yeah,
move.
it's not.
I'm back in there.
The
in
lock's
32
not on that
seconds. I'm
thing.
just like,
I put peanut butter on them sometimes.
On an
It's
Oreo?
awful. On an Oreo, on a Chips Ahoy.
oh my god.
It's ridiculous.
Like you have the spoon and the cookie, and you just like lather it up.
That's-
You know how it's done.
Oh,
You
yes.
know how it's done.
No, that's very
so
fat.
sad. It's so sad.
That's a very fat thing
Yeah.
to do.
And then you
I don't even do
You
that.
cry a little bit and then you go to sleep.
When you're mixing, like when you're making your own concoctions of fucking like fatness.
So sad.
No, but
No
that's like part of like being an adult and just
I'm allowed to do
fucking
this.
slipping into the oblivion of
Yeah.
like fucking life is hard. Let me put some fucking peanut butter on my chips.
Or it's
Ahoy.
too much weed and you're just hungry and you don't want to go to sleep.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, that too.
It's still the same thing. You smoked weed because life was hard, and then it just continued with the but I'll fuck it. I'll do a thing of Oreos right now.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
then feel horrible and just feel like I'm the worst person in life.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. They don't even have like a reasonable size amount of Oreos that you could buy anywhere.
No.
Like the 7-Eleven
You get
batch,
the
which is
7
like
cookies.
that's too. It's still too many.
Too many.
Where's
what
like
do you want?
the
What do you want to
two?
eat? What do you want to
A
eat?
2-pack.
3?
Like a 2-pack.
2-pack?
Maybe 3.
I think 5 is a good number.
Yeah.
Can't be an odd number. That's crazy.
6.
5 double stuff.
6 might be one too many.
Yeah.
Do you ever see
5, I feel like you can do 5, hit the craving, and then walk away and not feel so ridiculous.
with the 7-Eleven packs? Did you ever see like the Nutter Butters with the chocolate that they're dipped in? Oh my god, it's so
Nutter
bad.
Butter is one of my favorites.
Nutter Butters is a good.
The mini ones, I don't even like put my hand in the bag. I just I just do it like a slide thing. And the whole time I think about how many people have touched the outside of that bag that I'm putting my mouth in.
Oh,
You know?
that's true too.
2 is like, if you could eat 2 Oreos and walk away, that's nice. But nobody
two's
could do
tough.
that
You just went like this.
except for Megan.
Kurt just went like this. You just went like that. Wait a minute. I have a story. I was at the gym this morning, and I was talking to somebody that I know.
What were you doing? This?
No,
Talking.
I was complaining that like my elbow hurt. And she was like, because she follows us and she listens to the podcast, and she was like, yeah, it's all that grappling jujitsu shit that you do. And she went like this, and I'm like, are you fucking saying this because I like, and she made the motion as if I had my headphones in and I wasn't sure exactly what she was saying. I'm like, what the fuck? That's just fucking
Dirty mind.
Like it was a jerk off motion?
Well, yeah, but she was trying to say grappling. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
but-
Yeah, I mean, it's a girl. I mean, they don't know. Like, they just going like this. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's a different kind of grappling.
Self-grappling. Yeah, so that was Oreos. They're good.
Yeah, nuts.
They know they're drug dealers. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Without a doubt.
I
Nobody.
really didn't know there was that many flavors though.
How
That's
many
nuts.
people out there can just have probably Megan. Megan can eat like 2 fucking Oreos and
Definitely.
Yeah,
walk
if she
away.
can only eat one of those little ice cream things, then yeah, she
Definitely.
can eat 2 Oreos.
Megan will
and
eat 2
call it a day.
Oreos, walk away, and go fucking do a spreadsheet.
Yeah, but the whole time they're thinking about 2 more.
I don't think so.
No, not apparently
Really?
not.
I think we would be, but I don't think she is.
Food's tough.
Really is. It's a deep-rooted problem with everybody. I
Yeah.
feel like,
And you think it's just like the ingredients or how delicious it tastes?
Why, though? Like, why'd they have to make everything taste so good?
I guess it's the sugar.
Well,
Sugar's just so
I
good.
mean,
We
Nick
should
and I
have just
talk about
started
this.
sniffing
It's
sugar.
soothing. It's soothing.
Oh, yeah.
You're soothing yourself.
Well, it's also, food has been built up in that way now. Like, it's not just for, like, the fuel. It's like a reward.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
I
sure.
agree with that.
It's shitty.
Why are we like the only place that eats dinner so late?
That's not true. We're not. I mean, fucking,
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Other
I
countries.
thought everybody was eating their dinner at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Like that's their thing.
I don't think so. I think that's when they eat lunch.
No,
Like,
that's
they
when
do like
we eat
2.
lunch.
That's like they do like 2 3-hour lunch. Lunch is like, the lunch hour to me is 11 to 12. 12 to 1.
Yeah, but
anything.
aren't other countries like eating and then sleeping and then going back to work for a little bit and then
Yeah, I mean, like in the Dominican Republic, they eat dinner at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock
at night?
at night,
Oh, all
Which I-
right.
which
I thought they were eating their big meal during the day.
which
and
I
we
think
were
is
like,
crazy.
yeah, that's late.
It's very late. That's the time when people eat dinner.
I hate eating late. It's the
Do you hear about
worst.
the new thing that parents are doing on Instagram? Because kids' sports and all that shit. They're making dinner for their kid as soon as they come off the bus at school.
Before they go to sports?
Yeah. So they're eating at like 3:30. They'll have their like pasta and meatballs, and then they'll go like play a sport. But I'm guessing they're not running at that sport because you'd be yuking that up real quick.
Wait, that's an Instagram thing? How is that an Instagram thing?
I saw it on a bunch of people like, to be a healthier find is instead of coming home at 6:30, 7 o'clock with your kids after running around with all different sports and feeding them at 8:30 at night, now I feed my kid as soon as he comes off the bus. And the comments are very,
The sports thing is fucking crazy.
the comments are very like, oh, you're doing so good. What a great idea. And then the other comments are like, that's fucking stupid. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, well, that tracks.
And then
with
it's like,
everything.
live your life. Like,
Anytime anybody does anything and puts it out there, it's like,
yeah, I guess so. But it's always like, you always have that side that's just like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're ruining your child. And then the other one's like, it's not your life. Just, if it doesn't affect you.
you're just defining the internet right now.
Am I explaining
You
the internet
just
comments?
explained how people comment on the internet. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Lesson 101.
Wait, so there's one side that are for it, And then the other side, they're against it.
And those people argue about it.
And they're going to say potentially bad things about each other.
Awful things. Awful things.
Maybe that might even not have anything to do with what the subject of what they're arguing about is.
Sometimes they go off. You know.
Interesting. I didn't see that on Instagram.
God, today has been a long day. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But I thought that would be odd. Because nobody wants to go to sports with 2 hot dogs down their throat.
Ugh.
French fries.
This guy's
burping
fucking
into the mic. Wow.
That Coke Zero really fucking doing it.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Just soda in general. People will have a can of soda for like 5 minutes. No, for like an hour.
No
right?
way. It's ridiculous.
I'm not. I'm finishing a 12-ounce can of soda in under 20 seconds.
It's got to be cold.
Most times.
It's got to stay cold.
Who has a can of soda for an hour?
Some people do that. Like they'll pop a Diet Coke, like, and then they'll just drink it for
Just
like an
let it sit
hour.
there?
Yeah.
I feel the same way with people that let their coffee get cold.
Yeah, you got to reheat the coffee. I reheat my coffee every morning.
Bro, anything that's going inside of my mouth is
quick.
going to be
It's
gone
quick.
inside of 2 to 3 minutes.
So you're not enjoying it?
No, of course not.
Of course not.
It's gone. It was gone.
I like a good cold can of Coke.
Yeah.
I think they should push the vanilla and the cherry a little bit more. Those are delicious.
Well, Coke Zero is, I mean, it tastes just like regular Coke, and it's advertised as good for you, but it can't be.
You can't be. I think
I think it's less bad for you than fucking Coke.
Yeah, definitely, because there's no sugar in it. But I mean,
But I think if you're banging like 10 a day down, you're probably not.
you think one a day is all right?
Yeah,
I think one
definitely.
a day. I think one minimal of anything is good for you. Is okay for you.
What is it? Aspartame, whatever that is. It's probably-
Aspartame.
yeah, that's what it is.
Aspartame.
I think that's getting me.
Aspartame.
I think that's what's getting me.
What? Something's gonna get you. You know what
can't
mean?
imagine
You're gonna get got one way or the other.
Seeing the real stuff that's in there.
It's science.
Wish they'd bring back the Coke in that.
Science.
Yeah, Coke.
Cocaine, yeah.
They've been doing it for years. They're like one of the
Fucking- I'll
OG
blast a
drug
fucking
dealers.
line
Yeah,
right now.
Absolutely they are.
in the food world.
Imagine back in the day, back in like the 40s, 50s, when it was like real shit in it. People were just running around.
I just saw like a clickbait.
Golly, this can's good.
Have you had one of these yet?
I just saw like a clickbaity Facebook thing that said like it was an article, like, you know, BuzzFeed article or something. It was like reports Diet Coke still has a little bit of cocaine in it. I believe it. I believe it.
What a headline. I wonder.
I believe it.
I don't even really know what wakes me up anymore. I think it's you just like, does a cup of coffee really get me moving in the morning, or in an hour I'm going to be awake anyway? I'm doing the same thing every morning.
Did you ever like not do it and see how you feel?
I
Like,
try, I just can't get that. No, I'll get, because what I was trying to do is I was trying to drink like a bottle of water before I did anything, because somebody told me that was good for you. So I would try and drink a bottle of water, and I'd get to like 10 o'clock, and I'd kind of feel the same. But what I really think happens is the headache,
but yeah, but
because
that's
I'm not getting the
temporarily.
caffeine or the sugar,
I
whatever,
kicked
whatever I'm
coffee
missing.
a few years ago. I did like an experiment. No coffee. I went a few months with no coffee.
But did you think about it every day, like every morning?
Not
like,
really. Not really.
kinda
But
want
I
it.
think when I got to the end of the experiment, because I was like dealing with the acid reflux, and I thought that maybe that was fucking me up. I think I just decided like I like to have coffee in the
Right,
morning.
it's a nice.
I don't drink coffee all day long. I don't have like I don't. But like it's like something to it. Like I don't know. Maybe it's not the best thing for whatever, but I don't give a fuck. Like it's like a nice ritual.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean? I
the
wake
best
up,
part of every morning.
It does,
Usually.
it does taste delicious. Like if it's really done correct. Like today, I had a really shitty cup of coffee, and like 2 sips in, I was like, "This is not good."
Yeah.
And then you got to go. You got to try and find a way to fix that, and sometimes you can't.
It helps me go to sleep. Like it makes me think like, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep because I can't wait.
Yeah, I
your
think
cup?
about that sometimes. Think about the way it smells in the morning. Mm-hmm.
You make your own cup
at night.
every morning.
Sometimes a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I don't like, and I was just thinking about this the other day with coffee, is like the people that verbally say how they can't start their day without it. You You know, it's like, don't even talk to me until I've had.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but those are the same people that do a lot of things that you don't like.
Yeah.
Like those same people do. It'll come to me, but like
I feel like Maxine Viola does that.
good possibility.
She probably wakes up and she's like, I can't talk to you until I've had my coffee.
And she's wearing a shirt and waiting to fill her mug that says, don't talk to me until I have coffee.
Yeah.
No, there's that's a thing. That's a personality style.
Well, I probably said it before, but when I used to work in the Bronx, I didn't talk to anybody for 2 hours. So I had the whole morning where I either listen to radio, whatever, and then by the time I got to work, it was like, hey, how you doing? Now that I work 15 minutes away from my house, I'm telling you, I walk out of my car and truck drivers are like, bro, what's the plan for today? And I'm like, chill out. Let me get to my desk.
Are you kidding me?
Like, it's just like,
that's
it's 3 a.m.
Fucking second of my life. The only time at all that I ever have any fucking quiet
is in your car.
Is in my car. And I don't even have any quiet because my psychopathic fucking head is moving. You know what I mean? All of the guys that live in here are fucking shouting.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine having that 2 hours fucking, no contact.
Sometimes I would like make it again. Like when I really realized that I did not talk to a soul for a while, I tried to make it a game on how far in the day I could get through without talking to anybody.
That's crazy.
It was nuts because I worked all by myself. I was doing inventory like by myself. So I really didn't have to speak to you that much. Or on a good day, I really could get by till like 2 o'clock and not speak to a soul.
I fantasize about having alone time.
And I was like, this job sucks.
I'm not good at it when I get it.
What, alone time?
Yeah,
That means you're not doing the right things with your alone time.
I guess.
I like being alone.
Like I romanticize the concept, but when I get it,
It's probably just because you never ever have it. If you set aside an hour and a half a day where you had alone time, you'd probably get used to it and make something out of that.
Interesting. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like you ride home without music sometimes?
Sometimes.
It's a great time.
Usually only like when I'm super stressed out and fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
When you've already had a sleeve of Oreos.
yeah. Like if the windows are rolled down and there's nothing on the radio, Jesse's going through it.
Man, you talk out loud?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Talking out loud's weird.
To
You talk out
yourself?
loud to yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
All the time.
Like
I
ideas
also
and-
like, like how there's sometimes when you do something and you feel unoriginal and then you have to do like a thing to make yourself feel original again.
No, what do you
What do you
mean?
mean?
You know?
Feel original.
Like if you think in your head, like, wow, that was stupid. I shouldn't have did that. And you got to be like, I'll do that. Or like a lot of times what I'll do is like scream my dog's name.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. When I feel uncomfortable about something that I did, I'll be like, just scream her name. Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a reset. So we're all mental is what we're going down
Without
to.
doubt.
For sure. Jesus. There's not even a debate on that.
I don't talk to myself out loud much. I always thought that was the line
Of what?
of like
Crazy?
insane. Like if you really start being like, I shouldn't have done this today. I can't believe I left
not that.
Not like out and out, like, self dialogue. Not like.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm sure. Like, if you had a bird's eye in on me, you'd probably see some weird shit. You definitely would. But I mean,
probably
I
a
think
camera in
I think
your
everybody.
car.
I think everybody already knows that.
Yeah. There's probably a camera in your car somewhere recording you.
No, but I think everybody.
Has weird things, of
Yeah,
course.
without
of
a
course.
doubt. Without a doubt.
I think some are weirder than others, for sure. But I think everybody's got weird things.
But sometimes, if there is no visible weird, that means there's a real undercover weird.
Oh, like
Yeah.
like a quiet guy? Like
Yeah.
a quiet, yeah.
Or like an overly nice guy.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I always like try and steer clear of people like that everything's always great. How you been? Great. Everything's wonderful. Everything's fantastic. I don't believe that everything can be wonderful. I think you're just bypassing it.
Yeah, but that's like that question is. It's not a good way to just go around and be like, hey, how you doing? Like, what are you gonna say? Oh, I had a fucking miserable day.
Yeah, and especially
Well,
like
it doesn't.
people.
But I'm saying it doesn't always have to be miserable, but it doesn't always have to be great.
Yeah, but
Not always great.
But how you doing most of the time is not even like, it's not real. It's not. Because
Why?
like,
I'm looking for the answer.
What?
You're not looking for the answer when you ask how you doing? I'm looking for your
But you're
answer.
getting the same answer all the time.
yeah, but I don't think that like you're not really asking that question. Like it's just
I think I
how you
answer it
doing
truthfully.
is basically just hello at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how you doing is not like you're not saying yo, how
Maybe
you
the
doing.
people who don't really care how you doing.
No, that's not. But even like amongst each other, like it's how you doing? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like it's just it's autopilot. You know, I mean, if we're gonna talk about how we do, I mean, of course, people that care about each other, but like it's like a different, you know, people aren't just opening up, you know, at the drop of a hat.
We should change it. We should try something new. There's this one kid that walks
Hello.
into the kava bar, and every time he comes in, he goes, "Yep."
Oh, what does he think? He's Norm from fucking Cheers?
I might just do that from now on. Yep.
he has an entrance.
Now I do it just to fuck everybody else up. Like
Nice.
when I walk in,
They
they're
think
like,
that it's
"Oh, is
him."
it him?" I'm like, "Yep."
You stole his shit. You stole.
Yep. Wyatt Earp.
I think you should care. Every time I ask, I care.
No, but yeah, I do.
How you
too.
doing? How you been?
I do too. But you I say that to a lot of fucking people.
A lot,
All
day long.
day long.
You should mean it though.
Yeah,
But how
you
many people's
should.
problems can I listen to in one day?
Why does everybody have to have problems? Sometimes it could be great.
I think you're just being a
he's just
contrarian right
he's
now.
being a pain in the ass.
You know, like there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that throughout the day, like you just said, like, oh, fucking driver's talking to me at fucking 6 a.m.
Yeah, he's not coming up to
You
me
know,
and
so
saying, how
like,
you
oh,
doing? He goes,
you've
when can
had-
I get in there?
After you've had your cup of coffee and you've eased your way into talking people.
Hey,
to people
Jose,
now,
how are you? How's your
explain
life?
Yeah, how are you doing today, Jose?
How you been?
No,
But wait, let me pull up a chair because I really want to know. What?
I don't think it has to be that long. I think it's just how you doing? How you been? Great.
Yeah, but like he said, oh yeah, all good, man. You know, living a dream. You know, one foot in front of the other. I mean,
You're lying. I can already tell you're lying.
Insert.
But I think most people are.
Well, I don't think that's all right. That's fine. If that's the way people want to be.
But I don't
that's
necessarily think most people are doing bad and say they're doing good. I just
No.
think that like people, they're not gonna fucking like.
It's hearsay.
Yeah. It's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say?
Hearsay.
How you doing, Kurt?
great. I'm fucking hanging in there. I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
It's a long day, but I'm good.
All right.
Just like every other day.
Oh boy.
Nah, Saturdays and Sundays are different.
Are they good?
Most of the time.
This is so stupid. So stupid. And then meanwhile, this guy now created a whole podcast. We can just explain how miserable he is all the time.
No, it's all positive. Come on.
those.
You should.
Yeah,
It'll
but
make
you
feel better.
shouldn't release it.
No.
You just listen back to it yourself.
Use it as mental help. That's what I was thinking. Just have a bunch of tapes on yourself talking into a mic.
I need help.
Are you guys up on the election? It's 8 weeks away.
I can't believe how
What's
close
happening?
it is.
I don't know.
Any action? Like what are you thinking? What's the over under?
I think it's pretty much like dead heat.
I
right
think
now.
it's a dead heat too. I really, really do. I think it's a dead heat. I do love. Did you see that clip where she's saying, "There's no military. There's no live."
Yes.
That was
Fuck are we?
that was fucking great. And
What did she say?
so she's on the TV being like, right now there are no military live in a
There's no active military in a war zone.
in a war zone. That's the word I'm looking for. In a war zone, and then the TV like pans, and it's a bunch of Americans like in their hut, and they're like, "Well, where the fuck are we?" And like that's just like bizarre. That's awesome. But I think it's a dead heat.
I think that's what it is. And it's like, now I was listening this morning to something, and they were just saying like, you know, it'll be like, oh, the Fox poll's 49, 44.
You can't believe any of the polls.
And it's like, just essentially, it's straight up like, who's gonna pull ahead at the last minute? It's
Who's
interesting.
going to get enough people to go and vote?
That's what it is.
That's all.
What I
it
think is wild, and like I've never been a Trump fan. I'm not like I also don't hate him either. I'm not like I despise the guy. I think he's fucking insane, and I don't really understand whether or not he was good for the country or he wasn't. But what I think is wild is that like Harris, like she was like a non-event for 4 years. Like she wasn't even on the fucking radar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, she was a black female vice president. She got in there. And like now I think because of that, like all of a sudden, like, you know, she's like this leader and it's
Yeah.
like, she's not.
No, I don't think there's
she's
any
definitely not.
decision-making. It's bizarre. It's and I'm tired of hearing people being like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick the lesser of two evils." It's hard. You've been hearing that forever.
Well, that's what the guy Scott Galloway. He has a new show. It's fucking awesome. It's called Raging Moderates.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really cool. It's a cool name.
Yeah, I listened to it this morning, and they were talking about how it's like 8 weeks out, and there's all these people that are undecided. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, there's no undecided. He's like, you know who all the undecided people are the people that are afraid to say they're voting for Donald
100%.
Trump.
Well, I think both ways. I
don't think people are afraid to say they're voting for Kamala Harris. I don't think
Depends
so.
where you're standing.
I think fucking
What country, what state you're in.
Right. I think it depends on where you're standing.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think more is Trump.
Yeah.
It's just so it's impossible to know what the truth is. It's impossible. It's like like
They're not going to do anything.
we've inherited the
anyway.
world of our parents. In the world of our parents, there was like a handful of fucking news channels, and you had the newspaper in the fucking morning, and you know, most people did what their fucking parents did before them, and you know, relatively simple stuff. Now you have the amount of information that's coming at us from every single angle, and the amount of misinformation and false information, it's out of control.
That's what I was going to say. I'm tired of people coming in and being like, "Did you hear this? Did you hear this?" And you hear 2 seconds of it, and you're like, "You have no idea." If that's
I
true or
think
not.
straight up, and I'm not afraid to say this to anybody out there that like flips out over politics, that gets mad and goes into like fights with people, like you need fucking medication. You need medication, and you need to admit that you're just afraid that you don't know what's going on and you don't want to admit it. Because anybody who really truly believes like they know what the fuck is going on,
and they know what's gonna happen. They think they know what's gonna happen. You have no fucking idea what's gonna happen.
Insanity.
Yeah, he's gonna pass this. Sure, I'm sure that'll happen. It'll
Bro,
get
it's a fucking
cut down by
popularity.
something
It's a
else.
popularity contest waged on social media. It's what it is.
What would kind of be cool, besides the whole third party idea, because that's never gonna happen. But what would kind of be cool is if Trump wins, and then in 4 years you have 2 new people. That would be nice. That would be nice. Because
need
it's
some,
got to
like-
be 2 new people.
We need some people like our age.
Yeah, I know, but
With
it's
not
gonna happen.
fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, she's probably not that old. She's probably in her 50s, right?
You need people
She
who
looks old, though. She's
want
starting
to
look
do
old.
it.
Yeah, nobody wants to do it. I also don't think that, like, you know, it's all, they're not even deciding that they're going to be the candidate. You know, it's like their parties deciding
Yeah,
that they're
they push it
the
well,
best person.
besides Trump, but yes.
Even still.
I think
Even still, it's strategic. You know, like yeah, sure, you can raise your hand and say, I want to run, but that's not really up to you.
Yeah, you're not getting in unless
You
you're
know?
fucking part of the club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
it's all
Trump,
controlled.
I think, and I've always felt this, and I'm sure that it could be wrong, but I've always felt that he is relatively independent. Like he's calling his own tune. Because if you look at how he plays the game versus how everybody else plays the game, it's obviously
They're
different.
going to eat cats. They're eating cats and dogs. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you know what's funny about that is that was a while ago now, Jesus Christ. But like I started to watch that, right?
Yeah.
And then the first 2 questions that they asked her, she didn't even answer the question.
They never do.
But that's not what happened. The rest of it, she fucking worked that motherfucker
She
over.
baited him into everything. He just
Over.
Yeah, well, she had a plan.
He got torched in that fucking thing.
Because all you got to do is piss him off a tiny bit, and then he goes off script.
Well,
and
but
then he
his-
sounds
he-
crazy.
And she answered all of the questions after that. And like, I just couldn't, I mean, regardless, whatever. I wasn't going to keep watching it, but like,
No.
they asked her like, the first question was, you and Joe Biden, you know, you're the administration right now. I'm going to ask you, is the average American better off now than 4 years ago?
Right.
She didn't even acknowledge the question. She just started talking about some other fucking thing. I was like, oh my God, I can't deal with this.
No, his ego
great.
is out of control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you take a little shot at it and the whole thing breaks open.
But it's exactly what like so many people were saying was going to happen is exactly what happened. He was the one that was like the quick-witted, sharp guy when he was going against fucking the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you got a 55-year-old, however old she is, whatever. She makes him look like a fucking ancient old man.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, sure.
It's interesting.
I just think it's all lies. They all have a script on what they want to say.
I don't think he does, but I think it's all
I think he
lies.
does when he's in a debate situation like that. When he's at a rally, I think he says whatever the hell he wants.
I don't think he's got a script. I think they prep him a little bit, but I think he does what the fuck he wants. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. I think this thing
Debates
that
are different.
the most I don't know, the thing that I'm most interested in is like some of these businesses are getting too big, and who's going to step in and stop some
businesses?
of
What
what's
do you mean?
happening?
No, it's
Like the
still-
Walmarts of the world, the Targets of the
yeah,
world,
yeah.
the fucking computer, Google, Apple.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to something this morning. They were talking about how like the inflation plus like Walmart is still charging prices, even though like the cost of a pallet is $5 right now.
Yeah.
Like they're still like
Charging the COVID prices.
yeah, exactly. And they're like, how the fuck
gonna
is
go down.
that possible? Yeah, it is. It's happening.
I'm saying it's not going to go down to the consumer. If we're already paying something,
Sure it is.
No, but inflation goes up and down.
Look at the gas
I don't
price.
think this is going to. Yeah, because it's 8 weeks out of an election.
No, it's the same thing.
That's
though.
why.
It's the same thing though. It's
No,
like
it's economic cycles, bro. It goes up and down all the time.
and then like
Agreed, but-
whoever's in next.
It's never going to go down to that thing that
Agreed,
it was.
but I don't.
Well, it's never going to go down to that thing that it was. Just like gas will never be $1.99 anymore. It's always going to still go up a tiny little bit when it goes back down.
What?
If it's $1.99 for a while, and then all of a sudden during the summer it's $2.40 and $2.50 and $2.60,
You're saying
it's not going back down to
never-
$1.99.
It does.
It's going to go back down to $2.20.
No, it does.
No, it doesn't. Not anymore. It does not.
I don't know. I think you're looking at it. Through
Gallon
the
of
lens.
milk per se.
Yeah, but
was $2.99,
But
right?
we weren't talking about this in 2019. You know what I mean? Like 2020, the world went through the most
Yeah, and we knew
significant
that-
thing that it went through in a long time.
And we knew that the aftermath was going to be things that we have to pay for.
Yeah, and it's going to
But
take
not forever.
No, it's going to take a few years.
So you're telling me gallon of milk is $2.99, goes up to $3.40, goes up
Well,
to
no, like
$3.99,
our
goes up
business-
to $4.50. Tell me it's going to go back to $2.99?
It's
Eventually.
yeah, eventually.
And it'll probably
Not a
go below
chance.
it.
Not a chance.
or whatever the inflation rate is. Like-
Sure, it'll stay at $3.50
No.
instead of
No.
yes. Yes.
No way.
They're telling you that a bag of groceries
No
that was
way.
$100 20 years
No way.
ago or 10 years ago
No, all
is
right.
now
Yes,
$250.
yes.
That's not going back down to 100.
No, yes, you're right. On that, if you're looking at long term, I guess ultimately it's going up. But at the rate that it's gone up in the last few years, it's
No, it's
not.
gonna come back
Yeah, it's
down.
going to come back down.
I don't
Hopefully.
believe you two.
100%.
But what
It's
you're
happening right now. Like
With
because
what?
everything is driven by the supply chain, right? So that's why the cost of everything went up so much is because you couldn't get anything.
Got it.
Now there's an insane surplus of all of those things,
everything.
including fucking eggs and milk and all of those things, and it has to come back down. The problem is it has come back down to Walmart and Target, but they're putting the money in their pocket and not fucking reflecting it on the shelf.
Okay, so that's one way that it's not coming back down, but I don't think it'll go back down to the original.
But somebody has to step in and fucking, and it's scary.
Come on, JK, get it together. Let's go. We need somebody like
No
you.
chance. Somebody has to step in because the
stressed he
business
would
thing,
be.
the business thing is it's just out of control. Some of these
Well-
big businesses, like there's the fucking antitrust thing. Like that's who the thing I'm most interested in. Who's gonna fucking start that again? Because it's out of control.
Well, I've been saying it for fucking years. Is that like it's? I think ultimately everything comes to a showdown between the federal government and Silicon Valley. I think that truly is the next world war or whatever you want to talk. Because like, who's going to shut them down?
Well, it's the tax. That's the thing. Is that those people are fucking existing essentially tax free
Yeah,
for 20
Why are they
fucking
tax-free?
years now. What?
Why are they tax free?
Because that's the government policy. That's what they've written in. Someone has to stop that. They're making the money off of us, not off of fucking, Bill Gates and
but
Jeff
beyond
Bezos.
beyond even the fact that they don't pay taxes, just the level of control. Like if you look at Google, Apple, Meta, Amazon, like the level of control that they have over so many aspects of like the things that we do, and we keep on. You know what I mean? Like, here's an app, sign in through Google, sign in through Meta. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like they just keep on taking more and more ground.
I was just thinking about that because I just turned that Apple TV fucking thing on before for the first time in a long time. And it said you have to accept the terms and agreements again. And I'm thinking about it. And I was just thinking like, how many
Every
times
time
do
you
I
do that,
fucking
yeah.
do this a day without even looking at what this fucking
100%.
says?
Nobody.
I could have just fucking signed over my net worth of negative 60,000 to these guys.
Nobody. No.
And then like if all of a sudden like the government's like, no, you guys can't do this, and like they're like, okay, we're gonna shut off our services to you.
Well,
You
it's,
know what I mean? Like,
well, it's an
fucking-
interesting situation though because like they've created the environment where they wanted that prosperity to happen here and not somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they've given them the biggest tax breaks of all time.
Yeah.
But now they're so deep in their pocket, like someone has to come along and disrupt that. And what's going to happen to that person? Dead.
I never thought I would think this, but I think the universal basic income thing is good. I think the universal basic income thing could potentially solve a lot of problems. And I think that we generate enough money to be able to do it. It's just, if you had to do it, a lot of like things would have to get cleaned up. And like a lot of like, poor spending would have to be like reallocated. But if everybody got like based on your state and like cost of living, if everybody got like a salary, if they gave you 80 grand a year or 100 grand a year, and like that was it, you got that allocation.
Well, where's the money going to come from?
I mean, it's there.
Where?
I mean, just the taxes that coming out of Silicon Valley alone could pay it for everyone.
Yeah, but I don't think right now. I think that's the problem. I think the problem is that they're not getting taxed enough, and they would have to do that to do that.
I think the real issue is that it's like where the question is not where's the money coming from. The question is where's the money going to right now. I think that's like if you follow where the money goes, then you find out where it's going to come from.
What about the people who are making more than that already?
Well, no, but I think that's different. You know what I mean? Like put everybody.
They're going to want a pay cut.
Put everybody on a playing field. Some sort of stratification. There's got to be some sort of qualifications, I guess. But it's like give everybody an amount to where, food and shelter and just basic necessities are not a thing. You don't have to worry about that. Nobody ever has to worry about like, living in a shack and, not being able to make ends meet. And then on top of that, whatever you want to make with it, that's on you.
Well, it's like a new way of affirmative action.
But it should be for everyone.
Well, but what I mean by that is that like affirmative action used to be, race, gender, all of that shit. But that's not what it should be anymore. It should be economic standing. Like you can't just say like, I can't give this white person this job but they're just as broke as fucking everybody else. Right.
Yeah.
And there's all these other programs to prop up but not for that, and it's like now it's almost like, it's one country, not all of, but a lot of, the gender and racial things have been removed. And it's like, now it's just got to be based off of income. You got to fucking help people that don't have the money.
Yeah.
And don't have the opportunity.
Or provide more incentives for people to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Invest deeper into, the business community and stuff. And I don't know. But the money, we got the money. We have the fucking money.
I don't know about that.
I think we got the money.
I think there's like an insane fucking deficit and like.
No, I think when you take a look at
there is an insane deficit.
I think we pay a tremendous amount of dollars to fight wars in other countries, which I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that because there's probably reasons that nobody knows why those things are done. But on the surface level, that's like, billions of dollars.
Well, I think human nature, just generally speaking, says that, we're who we are and people want to come here and other countries, like they want to be where we are. So it's like ultimately, if we didn't play offense and make sure that we're protecting ourselves in the ways that we're doing it, people will probably come to fuck us up because I think that's just human nature. Like if you look at the history of the world, that's all that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think the other part of it too is that like, you said like, it's a great place to live. It's the greatest country in the world. You can't do the things you could do here other places.
Then it's starting to change.
That's propaganda, I believe, and it's been propaganda for a long time. Well, and you're only seeing, and what they're talking about is the worst of the world. But the truth is there's a lot of good places that you could do just the same and probably better or, different, but, in a good spot.
On the same level.
It's just this is the biggest, the best there's ever been for a long period of time. And they wanted it to stay that way.
And it's probably like a slogan by now.
No, but I
you know what I mean?
I think for a very long time that was a true statement.
I know, but that's like
it's
think not black and white though.
No, and nothing is. And it's not to say that you can't live good in other places, but I think that like we're living through the point in time like I think like the expiration date. We've kind of reached the expiration date on the last version of what this thing was, and I think because of technology, we've sped up so fast that like we need a new version. We needed a software update. And I think that it's very difficult to get these 70-year-old fucking dudes who are in charge to all agree upon what the software update's
Or
going
to
to be.
even listen on
Yeah,
options.
because it's like there's so many people that are in power that are profiting from the way the former version was.
Yeah, I was gonna say not only in charge, but like rich.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Families. It's
know?
families. It's like
And it's not a lot of people. It's a very
Bloodlines.
small amount. It's a small. I mean, Silicon Valley has challenged that though, because those people came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like those are not.
yeah, but that if it goes down the same road, they'll be like the same kind of people in 30 more years.
Of course.
It'll be a bloodline
I mean,
of
But
Silicon
it's
Valley.
also just another version of like, sure, there's the older people that have all of the money right now, and every time there's a pandemic and they bail those people out or they bail the fucking stock market out, they're bailing those people out. But the technology side of it is still sure, it's younger, but it's a very small contingent of younger people.
Sure.
Yep.
Not, the majority of the country.
Yeah.
No, it's a handful of people. It's probably hundreds of people, and they're running the show.
Yeah, I mean, the tops of those companies, they definitely make a lot of money, but still, it's a bad representation of the whole,
I like Elon, man. I think Elon's cool. I think he's crazy, and he's not like.
He's definitely crazy.
But he's like a freedom fighter. He's not like this. Like, yeah, he obviously is a profiteer and he looks to make money. But he's like, he thinks in his mind he's like trying to save the world. Like that's what that's what he's out there trying to do. Like he's very not, play the political game. He doesn't give a fuck about what anybody thinks of him. He doesn't care about it. I mean, he's the only CEO of publicly traded companies who like blatantly does the most ridiculous shit that like board of directors would never let their CEO do.
Yeah.
For fear of like shareholder fucking throwback.
I think he's just like a younger, modern Donald Trump.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what he is. That's exactly what he is.
It's a different
He's just a
version.
maverick fucking doing what he wants, and he's but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like you can go down all these roads, but it's so difficult. Like how do you weigh it against your own personal experience? Like you see all these things on social media and the news and wherever you get it, and then you look at your life and your day to day. How connected or disconnected are those two images? I think oftentimes pretty disconnected.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I'm not going to vote.
You're not going to vote.
No.
It's a bold statement.
I think we should.
I've only ever once felt swayed enough to vote.
Me too. Obama.
And that was it.
That was it.
And then, coupled with the understanding that at that level, in this state, doesn't really matter.
True.
Yeah,
even though Trump thinks that somehow he could take New York. Did you hear that one last week?
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna make New York red.
Yeah.
It's like, you're out of your mind.
You never know.
Can't wait to see that map in like all red, but like the little cities that have all the really votes in it be blue.
East Hampton.
It's like lost that state.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the funny thing about New York's blue is like in my mind like a very hypocritical blue, because it's all of the super rich, and it's a lot of entertainment money,
Sure.
and like not like theoretically like the blue folks, like it's like the party of the people, you know what I mean, like liberal and
Right.
social justice and like all this shit. But like New York's Democrats, they're not those fucking people. They're like the playwrights who own fucking the theaters on Broadway and fucking you know what I mean, and like fucking like
Yeah, but that's not the number of
No.
why it happens the way it happens.
no, I'm just saying
Those are the most visible ones, but the truth is that it's just billions of fucking, lower class, middle class people
Yeah.
in the
yeah,
cities.
yeah.
That's why it's
Co-op
blue.
cities
It's the number.
and all the apartment buildings
Yeah.
that have thousands upon thousands of people in it.
Yeah, those people all
but
vote.
that's the game that they play. They
Sure.
they grab the poor, uninformed, uneducated people, and they sell them this dream like we're going to make the world better for
course.
you, and they've never done that.
Of course.
Never done that.
The only way you could do it is if you read up, if you really follow. It's almost like a sport. That's how you really have to like treat it. And I think probably close to 50% don't pay attention enough, and they just pull down whatever color they want.
But you know what? I think if you get crazy and you treat it like a sport, I think you go crazy too, because there's no like, the sport is regulated by rules and they tell you that this is regulated.
What are you
by
saying?
rules.
There's no rules in
No,
politics?
they are, but it's so black. It's so blurry in terms of like what you're allowed. Like you see so many things. Like how is that even possible?
So you're saying like once you go to a team, you can't switch your team?
No, I really believe that like it's like two mafia families that like have backdoor meetings with each other.
Yes,
Like,
I
you ever see
understand
House of
all
Cards?
that.
You ever see
But
House of Cards?
No, I haven't. Kevin Spacey didn't make it to the last season, so I didn't want to start it.
I think that's like I think that's a very close depiction of how it actually is.
I understand all that, but I'm saying as the far outsider, as the public human being, if you treat it as in, I'm going to pay attention to what this person says, I'm going to look into their background, into who else is in that party, who's in the house, who's in the set, who's in the...
I think you drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, you could drive yourself crazy, but it could also be very interesting to that person, and then make a educated...
If you could do it,
not
if you
guess,
could
but
do
an
it without
educated vote.
attaching like your personality to it, then yeah, sure. If you could do it without, because they're selling different versions of reality, you know, and that's where I think it's
and it's
dangerous.
what you're like, what you lean more towards, like what you believe in. Like, there's a ton of people that vote just because of one thing.
My
They're
grandfather.
like, I want this one thing changed.
I think that's a majority of how
right.
people vote.
Yeah, I mean that's how
That's
you
the
vote for the school budget, right? It's like one thing. If the taxes go too high, I don't
100%.
want.
100%. There's people. Scott Galore was talking about this morning too. He said he's like, all of my friends, they'll listen to both sides. He's like, but at the end of the day, whoever's gonna fucking help them out economically, they'll vote for that. So they're all gonna vote for Trump. You know?
Yeah, but I think that's like that like self-interest at the end of the day is what propels most people's choices. You know what I mean? Like I think that like, and I don't actually think there's anything wrong with that, as long as like there's some sort of a balanced, but there's no balance on either side.
Well, it's just really, to me, it just comes down to like there's a social group of characteristics and there's an economic group of characteristics.
Yeah.
And how are you gonna, which way are you gonna go? But the truth is that like those two people have nothing to do with what they're talking about.
Right. They're just the face.
They're
the face that's going to make the speech.
So it's like if you really, really want to make a change, is you have to get down to this level. Like you said, it's like you gotta. How do you sway your state or your fucking whatever district?
Start with your local town,
to whichever the way you believe.
Yes.
Who's really in charge?
That's it.
Like, who's the most powerful person in the world?
Yeah, you can find so much stuff, which is great. Are you asking that as like a real question? Who's the most powerful person in the world?
Is it the president of the United States?
No, not even close.
I don't know if that's true.
I think it's Nancy Pelosi.
The house.
You know why it can't be the president of the United States? Because they're only there for 4 years.
Yeah, you have these guys here. They're 92 years old walking into that building. They don't know what they're doing anymore. It's crazy. I don't even really think. I think more of like an Elon Musk is some of the powerful. That type of person is one of the most powerful people.
Yeah,
that's what I think. But there's definitely.
I think it's. I think it's
so many fucking.
I think
secrets.
it's that crew. I think
there's so many secrets.
It's Zuckerberg. It's the Google guys. It's Tim Cook.
Like they're working their, way into like the old dudes that already had the power. That's what I think. I think like the Buffetts, like he's like letting some of these young cats in and seeing if they could like take over.
Buffett, he don't care. Like he just fucking walked to his own beat of his own tune his whole life.
They would go.
He's a genius.
I was going down. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I was going down the Puffy rabbit hole, right? And it's leading back to like J. Edgar Hoover type shit. That's fucking crazy.
I was talking to Vince last night about it, and just the like how it must have been eating him alive every day of his life, just waiting for all this to come.
Eating who
Imagine
alive?
Puffy.
Oh, you think so?
Dude,
I don't think they give a shit.
No.
Are you kidding me? The what he must have felt every day just waiting for what happened to him to happen. For somebody to fucking leak something out. His whole life has been a cover-up.
Yeah, but his whole life
never lasts forever.
But it never. I agree with that. It never lasts forever. But I think the whole life is like.
Well, he built the whole system.
Yeah,
he built the whole system of blackmail. So
that goes back to J. Edgar Hoover, the whole sexual blackmail.
Yeah, but he just had to keep building upon it.
Yeah, because it was
stop it.
It was either that or else he was going down.
And it was he had to have known that at some point it's all going to come to an end. And just living with that every day.
I think I think he's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, I don't
maniac
think at that point, dude. The guy was in charge of Bad Boy Records at 24. I don't think he cared anymore. He was living his own psychotic, crazy life.
Well, he had to make it crazier and crazier because I believe that he knew that it was all going to come to an end one day.
Think so?
So you might as well get it all in when you
any
can.
mob guy or something like that gets involved that deep into something knows that
that's
it's
what
going
I'm
to
saying.
end one day.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think they lived that life like.
Yeah, I think at the end
they
of the
turn
day,
a blind
I
eye.
don't think so. You watch Sopranos?
Yeah, but
I think at the end of
that
the
was
day,
kind of new that they.
I think at the end of the day, he was a gangster.
Inside.
He was a gangster. Puffy was a gangster.
Yeah, gay gangster.
Oh, he's gay?
He's definitely gay.
He was getting dildos with baby oil
He's
in him.
definitely that's where this like sexual.
Where are we at right now?
What did I say? Sexual what?
Deviant?
Chocolate.
No.
The freak parties?
Freak offs.
Yeah, but they were called
896 dildos.
blackmail, sexual blackmail.
Oh.
That's where it started. Where like J. Edgar Hoover, like they would have parties in hotels, and the way to make the
Well, it's like you bring the
blackmail
politician
come
in,
through.
you get him a hooker, you fucking you photograph him. Now we got you.
Now we got you.
Now we
right?
got you.
And
You're
now
gonna
if
you're gonna play ball.
If you make it a gay situation, it's even stronger of a belief. It's worse because now you got that whole situation going. So that's how that all like came
Not so much
apart.
anymore, though.
What?
Not so much
Not
anymore.
as much, but
Yeah, but so
why do
the-
rappers talk about not being gay and being hard and having chicks? But it's serious.
No, you're right.
It was kind of like a downplay. Like I mean, what did Eminem rap about all the time? Like, don't be gay. You know what I mean? Like that's huge. You want to be known as one of the strongest people in the world. Like, I just think
yeah,
it's
but
crazy.
what do they got? What are they saying that? What are they saying that he's gay?
What do you mean? They're saying that he was fucking. I mean, did you hear
Dudes
the videotape of
taking
Malik?
it in
Was
the
his name
butt.
Malik?
Yeah.
I think personally,
Malik?
I don't think Puffy took it in the butt. I think he gave it.
Yeah, he
That's
didn't take it in
clip.
the butt.
I'm serious. I think he was in charge. I just can't believe that he was in charge. Like he just doesn't look like a tough guy to me.
This is a test because if Megan doesn't clip that, I'm going to be very upset.
I think it's crazy. I think I didn't even know about him. J-Lo with the gun, and somebody else went to jail for him. Like he had
Shine.
a whole
Yeah.
There's like a whole track record of this guy doing so much. And
I mean, I've
what
been a
about
fan
the
of his for a long
wife
time. What wife?
that died?
Kim Porter. Yeah, people
What
say that.
the
Yeah.
fuck?
What about Biggie and Tupac?
Yeah.
Well, he killed them.
Definitely.
Start a whole West Coast, East Coast, right? Little fucking.
It's all strategic.
It's all strategery.
Strategery?
I said it on purpose. I said it. That was George Bush.
What was the one you said? What was the thing you said last week?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. This guy
Fuck
was
you
talking.
for remembering.
No, now I got it. Now I got it. Because I know you didn't listen, but you got to hear what he said. He's like, we were talking about slaves, and this guy he
What are we
goes,
talking about? Slavery?
I don't know, one of those houses, those plantain houses. Bro, I was listening to that episode and I fucking died.
Oh man.
It was hysterical.
Kurt, where are we at on the fucking comedy show back there?
Don't worry about the comedy show. You know what's really funny? I was
What?
fucking making notes to that the other day.
Really?
I was wondering if I should start with that comedian guy that we interviewed, but I don't know if we should go that route. I think it should be.
I think we should just talk to him, no strings
Yeah?
attached, and see. What is it? Is what he doesn't like it, right?
No.
No. I think you should talk to him.
I mean, because he said
He's hooked in.
yeah, he's got relationships with a lot of local comics,
Right.
and he even said to me like, almost making fun of himself, like I know young guys too, you know what I mean, like,
Right.
and he was saying it like in that way, and he seemed pretty willing to help out, be a part type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever.
Whoever.
I don't know. Like that's the whole thing is I don't really know.
Right. I just think there's different brands of comedians, so that's what I'm wondering.
I mean, like
Is the show going to be the same? Yeah, is it going to be the
racist.
same, or is it going to be?
No, I think it's like
all over the
it's like
place a little bit?
we set up on the stage, the three of us, like this, and then it's like an open mic, Kill Tony kind of thing. Like you get up there, you get your 5 minutes or whatever it is,
They got like 90 seconds.
or whatever they get.
Yeah, but you got to give them more than that for coming out here. You got to. Nobody's just
And then
traveling via media.
like you get we make like an evening of it, and then maybe we book like two, like maybe some see if we can get
Like
some,
Chappelle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Kevin Herrera. See if we can get some firepower. You know what I mean?
Who was the one kid that was here that one time? Remember? He was part of like the Movers crew, and then he was on the Giannis Pappas. He was like the co-host.
The black kid?
Yeah, a little black kid.
Yeah. Might be able to get him.
Old African-American kid.
You gotta do some research. I gotta go to Governor's, check it out.
Yeah, but imagine Kurt's like, all of a sudden he's like an agent now.
Nah, I don't want to be an agent.
Comedy world?
Just trying to have a party, man.
All right.
Just trying to have a show.
I mean, and make money partying.
Trying to have a show.
DJing.
How about break even?
Break even?
Yeah. Just have a good time. You're not making money off the first
How many
one.
tickets do you think you could sell back there?
75, 100.
You think 100?
Probably. Ask Rob.
I don't want to ask Rob.
Rob came in today and he goes, so I'm a podcast star now.
They sold 60 for that Dara thing. We'd sell 100 for sure. If we planned it out and then put it out in the future.
For the music?
Yeah.
What'd they sell for the play?
That's what I was going to go off of.
Similar. 50, 60.
A show.
Yep.
50, 60 a show.
Because you could make the stage a little smaller if you needed to.
Yeah,
Get
you're
more
only having
seats
a
in.
comedian.
Yeah.
I think
Fucking
it's
do
gonna
it.
have a couple other things to
Went
it, too.
to 25.
Can't
Like what,
just
magic?
just be fun. I love magic.
We'll set up the instruments. We'll have just like I think we should copy Kill Tony. I mean,
I don't want to copy Kill Tony.
I mean, make our own version, but that format. They have musicians, right?
No, they have the regular
band.
musicians.
They have
a
house
band.
band.
They have a band. They have their table, and then the
Yeah, but then
comedians
you're
come
gonna
up.
want to be in the house band. You're gonna be doing both.
I think we
Rob
need.
will be our house band.
I think
It'll
we
just be
need
Rob.
somebody else to be the Tony, not us.
Who's Tony?
Right.
You know, like we're not
Oh,
fucking.
so you need somebody on the board.
yeah, you need like an MC.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be Kevin.
Maybe that could be Kevin.
Kevin Herrera.
Yeah.
You think he would do it?
No, but we'll ask him.
Probably not. He's probably a little too harsh for a board like that.
No, he would be perfect
he would
for
be
it, and it would be awesome. Whether or not he would do it, that who knows? You know, who knows?
Or we get the Kevin, the black Kevin, the little kid that was here that one day.
Gotta do some research. Anybody named Kevin? We're just looking for somebody named Kevin, right?
Tell me a joke, Kevin. Yep.
I don't know. I think that shit's deep. I think the whole Puffy thing is deep. It's really deep,
Yeah.
and I really hope it knocks a lot of the stars that you listened to back in the day into jail, but I don't think it's gonna. I think Jay-Z's in it deep.
You think? I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're boys for
I
forever.
saw a thing on the internet that 50 Cent was saying he's trying to emulate a black gay painter. And everybody's what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then they show a picture of him. I'm like, holy shit.
50 Cent's awesome
Yeah, he's star.
Yeah.
because he's independent. He's out. He's on the outside. And he's done his own way.
Because he said no.
He said no.
Okay? Because he
no.
said no to those
Bro,
parties.
all of these people are bad.
Yes, but what? But why?
But that's the
You're
word,
gonna
bad?
be bad?
Bad.
Bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're all bad.
I don't know if bad's the word. I would say similar to politicians, like they were corrupted by power and money.
Sure. But that's what I'm saying.
And I
Yeah.
even said today, I was like, I bet you he didn't even like think about the feelings of the women that he hurt or whatever. He was just thinking about the money. He wasn't thinking about this girl's just a vagina. You know what I'm saying? He was just thinking, I got to do this to get the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, dude, I think it's fucking.
They're all bad.
hope it
And
doesn't
maintain
stop.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they want.
Power.
Now, does that start because you are all of a sudden in charge of a company at 24? You know what I mean? There's
Well, I
no
think-
way.
What's
he was
what's next?
right. There's no way that he was experienced enough to be the greatest. They just put him in that spot, and he had to do a bunch
Yeah,
of
it's like,
shit.
let's see what I can get away with.
No, but he
Yes.
was a super talented fucking producer.
Sure.
I mean, in terms of like his ability to cultivate talent and fucking,
Yeah,
you can't
but
take that away
I
from him.
think it was all pushed. I think a lot of it was pushed.
Yeah, you're talking about the days of when gatekeeping was a thing in that industry. You know? It's like
Get with Puffy first.
it's like who
you'll be a star.
did he have some shit on that was gay that he was like put me in the
100%.
spot, you know?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Probably.
Well, come diddle with my
Come diddle with my
thing.
Diddy.
come diddle with my Diddy, and you'll have a song that's number one.
I heard that RFK, who I was like big into for a while, that guy is a fucking raging lunatic.
Yeah,
Is
I've
he?
heard some crazy shit.
Yeah.
What do you
Like he
mean?
fucking
We back on politics just like that. What happened?
Well, it's like the same thing. Like there was like, I guess there was a book about him where like one of his wives he cheated on with 37 different women.
The one that just went with Trump?
Yep.
he cheated on with 37 different women.
And right now he's in a scandal with a woman who's a political reporter who they were like digitally in a relationship.
Wow.
Which had to be explained of like sexting
Right.
or sort of. And for years, and she would continue to write for the political thing for him, about him.
Right.
And he just kept it going, you know? Wow. It's crazy.
See, that's the other thing with like the whole Epstein thing, like kind of being like the Puffy, like the new Epstein, right? Or the black Epstein. When I first think about it.
The black Epstein versus the Jewish Epstein.
But like when that story first came out, all I would think about was like, oh, he hates women. He treats women like shit. He treats little girls like shit. I don't think it was for any of that. I think it was just for blackmail. So I can now blackmail you because I invited you over to my fucking island. I got you on tape. Now I want $1 million every 2 months.
I think it's a lot of
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like that's so nuts that
it's a lot
that's
of that.
probably what it was for.
Yep.
I think it's a lot of that.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of that.
crazy.
Yep, it's a lot of that.
First, you just think he's a psycho that wants to hurt people, like kind of like a serial killer. And now it's
No.
like, holy shit, it's this whole fucking blackmail plan to hurt you instead.
Yeah. And so they can maintain their status. So they can be
Maintain
the
their
power
status.
brokers. They can be the guys like, oh, this guy's got what you need. You got to play by his rules.
Right.
And you don't want to be on the, you know what I mean? If you get in with him, you got to stay in with him, because if you get on his wrong side, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, but eventually, just like John said, all that stuff runs out.
Yeah.
It all runs out.
But I think
You
that,
can't
like,
live your life like that.
No.
Like constantly like looking over your, think about that. Constantly looking over your shoulder.
Yeah,
That's a terrible way to live.
it's a horrible way to live.
it is a terrible.
No matter how much money you have or whatever you got.
But there
like,
is that point where they're not, and they're just living their life at like 110%.
I don't think so.
No.
Not without a lot of like
I mean, me, I'd be neurotic
drugs
as
and
fuck.
weird shit.
Right.
No,
you
but
know?
I think the
numbing themselves.
the thrill of the game. I think that drives a lot of these people. The thrill of getting away with shit. I think I think that definitely that's a thing. It's a thing. Oh God.
I saw he's in a cell with what's that guy's
Kelly?
name?
on
Sam
each other.
Bankman-Fried.
Really?
Yeah,
Who's that? Who's
They're
that?
he's in a special wherever he is. He's in a special
he's in
section
Brooklyn or something.
where it's, really crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, white collar / big empire type crimes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Can't mix him in with the gen pop, which I guess makes sense.
I wonder, like, if he's toast, or is he gonna get out?
No way.
He's probably toast, right?
Guys,
He should have never came back from wherever he was.
why would he come back?
That was his biggest mistake.
When he was on that plane and went to whatever
Just
island he went to,
disappeared
just
forever.
disappear.
Yeah,
but some people can't.
Puff Daddy
Can't disappear.
But this is what it is. You're delusional if you think the layers that he's in right now. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. He'd have to go to like North Korea and like make a deal with Kim Jong Un or something like that.
And he's gonna go down.
Imagine Puffy was like all of a sudden like the president of Russia.
Him and Dennis
That'd be
Rodman.
amazing.
Putin's got his arm around
Yeah,
him.
holy shit. All of a sudden, the Russian rap scene just skyrockets.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I just think he's gonna go down. No names are gonna come out. It'll be just like the Epstein thing, wiped under the rug. All those tapes. will
No,
be in
I
a
don't.
fucking hidden file
I
somewhere.
think names are going to come out, because I think that like a lot of his is like the entertainment business, not as
Yeah, but nothing came out from Epstein's list.
yeah. But I think Epstein's was more like Wall Street and government. Like
I guess.
you got something on the senator of the House Speaker.
Yeah, put it out there.
You might have some fucking dudes roll up at the house.
Let's
You know what
go.
I mean? Like,
Let's go.
you know what I mean? Like some men in suits with little silenced pistols, or not even like, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna like.
Yeah, well, it's that.
I
that
think
thing.
celebrities will go down.
Yeah, because like
Because they bitches.
Because once you start, like, once the general, like, the everyday man starts understanding that, like, the government is operating at that kind of a weird
Yeah.
level, it starts to teeter where, like, this isn't, we got to take this thing over.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They gotta. Like,
Whereas,
there's
like, people-
probably, I mean, I'm not going to say this out loud, but you know what I'm going to say. It's probably better. I'm going to say it out loud.
Say it out loud.
It's probably better that the Epstein thing didn't come out.
Didn't come out.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
It would have been too.
Yeah, because like what happens if it's like, the the head of the Senate and the Speaker of the House.
It is.
It is.
You know?
Of course it
It
is.
is. We know it is.
No,
Give us
I know.
the proof.
But then it's like
Storm the Capitol
January
again.
6th. Forget it.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd be fucking
I
nuts.
might get involved. I don't know.
That'd
You know?
be great.
Might be fun.
It'd be
It's just
wild.
Fun. It might be fun. Just wild, violent revolution. You know?
Everybody come.
I'm gone.
We all. Where you going?
And somewhere else.
Ireland?
Yeah, I'd probably go
Thailand.
too.
I heard the Caribbean, the water's like 85. You
DR,
wanna go there?
man.
I'm gone.
I'm already setting up shop right now.
Gone.
Is that why you go in there
I
all
go
the time?
to
You're
the
Jesse's building his own house down there. He's not telling anybody. He's like, he's got an underground
Look,
cavern.
and studio.
Oh, fuck you. I'm taking this one then.
Yeah, the fucking Mexican Kurt knows how to fucking use a Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Knows how to use a Google Calendar. Gets here at 3:30.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Tracy Media.
I saw that today. I'm like, oh, it's so nice that he switched it.
I knew.
It's a
You know what's
little bit
funny is
later.
like when
He
you
said that
weren't
to me.
here, I said to him, I guarantee you this fucking retard didn't realize it said October 15th.
Oh man.
Yep, the old retard struck again.
As soon as it was like after 2:30 and you weren't here, I was like, shh, fuck. I shouldn't have did that today.
It's so funny too, because like as soon as I saw it, I like changed all plans because like
Yeah, I know.
we had struggles with like picking up, and I was like, don't worry about it. John moved it back. I'm
All
like,
good.
we're good. We're good. We're good today.
Quick question: are we gonna, try to get a female co-host or a female? Or we just like, what are we thinking?
I'm down. I just think we should.
We should just probably get some
Do a
female
couple,
guests.
no?
We should get some female guests.
Yeah,
and
why don't we
see
start
feels.
that way?
Yeah.
I think that what I think is kind of cool in I think I was telling somebody this stoned. It definitely wasn't you two, so I don't know who I was talking to. Like maybe like the rotating thing is cool too.
You trying to say you don't want me to be here?
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
you're
I
trying to
don't.
say you don't want to be here.
I'm saying
John
I
wants a
don't want to
couple
fucking be
days
here.
off.
Yeah, I'm saying I could use a couple of weeks off. No, I think that's
trying
fine.
to get a couple days
I
off.
think that's fine. I thought it was cool. Like now you got Rob
I think
was
it
in
is.
the mix.
I think it's pretty
We got
cool because of
Kadian.
the name, especially.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
so like,
that's
there's
exactly
a bunch of
what I was
different
saying.
people.
That's exactly
I
what I
think
was
that's
saying.
kind of like War on Fear.
Yeah, sure.
That's
know what I
exactly
mean?
what I was saying.
Yeah.
Meld the two together.
I mean, it's always got to be two of us.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think it's cool to like have random people come in because I'm strong on this. I
Four is
don't
tough.
like when four people
I
are
know.
in this conversation.
4 is hard.
I don't really like it. A guest is fine if it's like they got 100 million followers,
Yeah, of course.
and we'll get 5 in here. Who cares?
I
Four
think
people's
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Can we get another female that would sit in a room with us? I mean, I don't know if we can have any.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're out there. What are you, crazy?
All right, so
don't
let's
know.
get a couple in there.
Everybody wants to be on the internet.
They're like, oh, look at those guys, bunch of ditties.
Bunch of daddies.
Diddy diddlers. I say you do it. Get a girl in here.
Why
Get
do
a
I gotta
woman
do
in
it?
here. Get a woman.
You do it.
I don't know any.
Oh, this guy's got a fucking comedy show. What do you?
Yeah,
you
I'm
gotta
working
do
on a
it.
comedy show.
All right. I'll do it.
Do it.
Who could we get?
I honestly don't know anyone.
What about like girls like our age
Yeah.
that like we were with? Is anybody like could step up to the plate and fucking hold it down?
I don't know. You're the only one that goes out and meets people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody recovering in the Kava place that needs a place to talk?
Yeah, no, you don't want to open that door. They'll all be fucking standing outside the door all the time. I get. When am I gonna be on the podcast?
Is that one in Lindenhurst ever going to open?
I don't think so.
Really?
We'll ask him. He's gonna be here any minute. He's the fucking
that's
key
true.
holder. Sean.
How do you wait? Be a big waste of money. I would die.
I think. Let's not talk about it.
Don't die.
Gotta write it off.
Things
Write it off. Just write it off.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking about meeting new people out. I'm talking about like the roster. Like, we pull out a yearbook, we go through it.
No, I think we gotta shoot people DMs
I
on
dare
Instagram.
you to do that. That'd be hilarious, actually.
Yeah, I think we got to do that too. What I'm saying is like to start to get the ball rolling. Can we get somebody in here?
You think like a super rando, like just somebody who listens to the show?
I think what would be,
that would be fucking
I think
funny.
what would be cool is a female who is doing the social media thing that has a following. I'm not saying like a huge following,
Yeah.
but somebody that's trying to do this.
Somebody that'll like promote it.
That's
and
a
put it on
long
their
eye-
stories when we make clips.
I just don't like putting it out there that that's the fucking thing
No.
that we're looking for. I'm
I'm
more
not-
looking for the chemistry.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. I'm not saying somebody
Because I hate that we lead with that.
No,
sometimes.
but that's not what I mean. I mean like someone who wants to do this. You know what I mean? Someone who's out there trying to do it in some kind of a form that would
has to be
that would
somebody who's doing
benefit
that.
from joining the team. You know what I mean? Of
Right,
people that
right.
are doing it, that are organized, that have the studio. You know what I mean? I think that would be cool. And if it was a female, it'd be a different perspective, which we've already found is cool. You know what I mean? Like it adds to the conversation. And somebody who wants to be in this social media world. And I think that there's probably plenty. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't have to be like, maybe it's like one of those food people, or maybe it's like, like somebody who's bringing something to the table, but they're trying to do this on their own.
Yeah, if you could get a roster of like a couple of people and do a rotation, that'd be a really
Maybe that's the Kill Tony.
Let's
That would
ask.
be a really good idea.
Wow, yeah.
All
All-female comedy show? No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Why? Women aren't funny? Good
Of
job,
course, they're
Jesse.
hysterical.
Yeah, it's got to be. It can't be somebody who's gonna sit down and be like, "So what's up, guys?"
What?
I don't know. I just have it in my head. You just gotta like fucking blend in. That's what I'm saying.
Fucking Megan, man.
You know?
She was good, and she's bailed on us. Now we're in this situation.
So many people fucking messaged me over
like,
the
what's
past 2
up? Yeah.
weeks.
Oh,
you
so
know?
Meg's ruining our show. Good job, Meg.
Meg ruined our show.
Good job.
So many people messaged me, but no, positive, and we're saying like, yeah, you should definitely get another girl in there. Like, don't really like it. It's when it turns back into the lunchroom,
Nobody's saying like, what about me? Nobody's saying that? No girls are saying that?
Listen, guy. We know everybody loves Kirk.
No. Saying like the person writing in, saying I can do
Writing in.
No.
Well, email, whatever the fuck.
I mean, I'm sure
You know what I'm
if asked, they would say yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot, not from around.
in today.
It's not what I meant.
Johnny from the mailroom wrote sponsored letters.
Okay, go fuck
Who
yourself.
are these guys? Sponsored by General Mills and R.J. Reynolds.
R.J. Reynolds. Oh, man.
All right.
All right, I'm
We
gonna
did
pick
it.
some broad off the street and get her in here and see if we have a strength.
Broad.
If we-
That's a rough word.
Why? It shows her strength.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. And also
Hello.
welcome.